When you're aiming at the center of the target,
Yeah.
how often do you hit the center of the target?
Every single time.
You do. That's amazing.
Sure. Yeah.
I think you lie. Welcome to Breaking Down Your Business, episode 349.
Good.
You can find the show notes of this episode at breakingdownyourbusiness.com.
You'd think I've done this before.
/349.
349 episodes. Can't ever get used to that.
I just want to point something out to you, Jill, that might not have occurred to you. No one else gets scared because they pushed play. They know what's coming.
Well, I'm just sharing how I feel. Maybe it does scare them. We've gotten a lot of comments about how a lot of you are turning your volume buttons down
7878
because Brad is so loud.
Does the opening of the show scare you?
But you also trick me and have like a very quiet, patient thing you say to me, and then all of a sudden you shout it. Just so people know why.
It's super fun.
It's terrible.
I'm kind of like Ellen that way.
I'm going to go into cardiac arrest one day on the podcast. You're kind of like Ellen. Did you just compare yourself to Ellen DeGeneres?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
She loves to scare people.
She does.
I'm Brad from Anchor Advisors, not Ellen.
I'm Jill from the Founding Moms.
And this month
Ellen.
we're talking about making the messages and promises that you make to your prospects more bold, more specific, and more something that people are going to respond to.
Amen!
We don't want to hear mealy-mouth claims, and we're going to bring some tough love about this one.
And I really want to constantly say throughout these episodes lately, it's really hard to do, but you can do it.
Okay,
that was my pep talk. That was my pep talk.
You can pep
all you want. It is really hard. Some stuff we talk about on this podcast really easy, and you're just idiots. But this stuff is really hard, and you got to get it right.
So I'm going to take a minute and talk about that because it's weird. Because I think you're totally 100% right. Even my clients who are good writers can't write their own websites.
Correct.
Like I encourage everyone to hire someone else to write your website.
And I know that's what you do with a lot of your writings.
Right.
And I think that's kind of like, if you listened a couple episodes ago, kind of like a mastermind thing. You can't do it by yourself. You need an echo, a reflection, and somebody to feed back to you what you're missing, what you can't see, because it's incredible how much we miss when we're inside of it. So this messaging stuff is kind of like saying to anybody, why are you so incredibly awesome and amazing?
Exactly.
And socially, we're all conditioned to go, I'm not, but thanks.
Well, and even if we weren't socially conditioned, I think that I am hyper aware of both the good things and the terrible things that I do.
Correct. So it's hard for you. But also, we have all seen those horrible people who ruined it for us, where they take it to the extreme and go, I'm incredibly amazing. And you're going like, but how you're not.
You're super
That's
insincere.
a sales pitch.
Right, yeah, it feels
so
not
then we
real.
don't want to go near the sales pitch. So this is like a fine line, smarted language that lures people
back up, because I think actually it's not a fine line. Because I don't want your website to say, I am amazing, fantastic, and the best in the world.
I mean the middle ground. Maybe not fine line.
I'm not saying middle ground. What I'm saying is you can say, without being braggy and insincere, you can say, this is something I'm good at solving. These are the results that my clients have gotten. And if you want that, come get it.
I agree with you. But to me, that's between not being able to describe it and you're too vague and being overly hyperbolic and saying that you're the most incredible thing that ever happened to planet Earth.
I don't think it's in between. I think it's a whole different road.
Oh.
See, I think
that's a better way to think about it. I like that.
You're not even on that street, because you could go way down that road and you still wouldn't end up at I'm super amazing.
Let's go different streak.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So today I want to talk about one element of making this work.
Okay.
And it's about being specific.
I can do that.
If you say things like, I help people who have problems by doing things that make their lives better,
I'm going to puke.
No one wants to buy that. No one. But if instead you say, I help dentists to get more trials in their practice so that their practice can grow by 2 or 3 times.
Specificity.
See how much more attractive that is as an offer?
You sound like you know what you're doing. You sound
right.
like you know how you're going to help me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so finding ways to be more specific.
Can I poke holes? Holes?
You always do. Why would you stop today?
But what if I don't want to say that, Brad? Because what if I could help people who are not just dentists, but orthodontists?
So here's a really interesting thing. Have you ever done any sort of target practice, like archery or with guns? Or
yeah.
When you're aiming at the center of the target,
yeah.
How often do you hit the center of the target?
Every single time.
You do. That's amazing.
Sure, yeah.
I think you lie.
Sure.
Here's the thing. If you aim at dentists,
Yeah.
there are going to be a lot of other people that are kind of around dentists. They're going to show up and say, well, I'm not a dentist, but do you do this?
So I don't have to include everyone. I should put the most popular recipient of my services.
You want to aim at the center of the target, and then just know that people that are further away from that
So an ortho
center
might call me.
For sure, because they
if
think
it
of
says
themselves
dentist. They're not going to see it and go, I'm out of here.
You know, even an optometrist might call you.
Stop it.
Even some
Anything
other
that ends in IST.
Yes, right.
Okay. All right.
Now, you know, it's true that a massage therapist might come to your site and say, well, maybe this isn't for me. But you're going to get way more.
Now that you say that back to me, I'm ready to say, well, you never know. There could be a massage therapist who just sees your specificity, is comforted by the fact that you know exactly what you're doing, and I can convince you to do this for my massage therapy practice.
What I was going to say is you're going to get way more dentists that immediately call you than massage therapists that are like, I don't know if it's right for me, right? The attractiveness to the people that are in the center of the target is much more powerful.
There was another hole I wanted to poke. The rest of the line. I am a dentist. I help dentists. Do you remember?
To attract new trials to their practice so that they can grow by 2 or 3 times.
Now, okay, I don't think this was the hole I wanted to poke, but 2 or 3 times. Do we put or so that we sound indecisive? You know what I mean? Why are we pausing? What's happening?
I'm trying to evaluate what the question you're asking.
Because if you put 2 or 3 times, or you just say 3 times as much.
Okay, sure, I'm down with that.
Because I don't like the or words because they sound wishy-washy.
Okay. You're right.
Yeah, I think that's something that I find very, very common is that people are afraid to be quote unquote wrong. So they'll put 2 or 3 times, 17-ish%.
Right.
And you want to, it's the same thing as the dentist quandary.
Right.
Like, I don't want to say it's, but if you say it, it's the target practice thing you were talking about. It's not like you're not going to have, you could put 2 times. Maybe you'll get to 3 times. Maybe it'll only be 1 time, but you're not going to be sued because you said one thing and it's slightly varied.
Right. People understand that your results may vary.
But I think as the founder, it doesn't feel that way. As the person
doesn't feel as
posting,
honest. Right.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah. So who do you help specifically? Why is it important to be really specific about who you help, Jill?
So that I can help them? What do you mean?
You're guessing?
I don't know.
I think it's important.
Sounds too simple. What are you talking about?
It's important to say specifically who you help because it makes your whole marketing easier. Like if you help dentists, you go where dentists are and you talk to dentists,
yes.
right? If you help medical professionals, it's much harder to find, even though that's a broader target market.
Right, and potentially more money because they'll all come to you. It's silly and it doesn't work. And I guess you've said this a lot and I've said this a lot in our lifespan being business people. You're going to get so many more clients from feeling like you're being too narrow, too nichey. If you just say dentist, you're going to have 17 times the amount of clients. Which I think I said that very poorly, but you get what I mean.
So the second thing you want to be specific about is what is the problem that you help them with specifically?
Yes.
So in our example there, it was about getting new trials, people who could come and have a first appointment with you. I might be even more specific and say, I help dentists with new practices to get people to try their practice for the first time so that they could grow to fill their practice in 18 months.
Ooh, that's so specific.
Yeah.
So what if I hire you then and we don't get there, we get there in 24 months? Do I get my money back?
I don't know. It depends.
Oh.
I mean, that's up to you, the business owner, to decide how you're going to substantiate that claim. But
also, side note, if you put a claim like this that feels very dishonest, whatever your baggage is, dishonest or not true, whatever, know that you can put it up there, try it out, and then you can take it off.
That's right.
It's removable.
Yeah.
It's not permanent.
This is an interesting thing about websites is that they aren't cast in stone.
They are. I do have one of those. It's in my drawer. But yeah, I think people forget that once you post it, because people will launch something and be like, I can't press the submit button. I can't publish. Just do it. Just try it.
And then the other thing that I want you to be specific about is what are the results that people are going to get from working with you?
Well, that's that 18% or whatever we were talking about, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But I think that, We help people with problems so that they get better.
Solutions. That's the worst word in the world. We're going to get you solutions. And then, have you ever asked the person, well, what kind of solutions? Well, it depends. It depends on what you're doing and what you're looking for. And then it becomes like the onus is on the customer to come up with all the... Don't get me started.
It's similar. I have a similar problem with partner. We're going to partner with you.
Oh, I like that word. I
No.
think we've disagreed about this before.
You're not partnering with
I
them.
use that word in place of sponsor.
Well, that's different.
I want it to sound like we're not just about money. We want to talk about being partners. That. Oh.
But
what do you not like it for?
I don't like it for like consultants and coaches or
service
they're going to
partner with their client?
Right, like a web designer who says, we partner with our clients to get outstanding
I'm not offended.
results.
I don't know. That sounds nice. We're working together.
Yeah.
You and I partner on this podcast, don't
we?
I mean, now that you're giving me those evil eyes, I guess not. Wait, what do you... Okay, maybe you just don't like the word.
So just like last time, I had a hard time coming up with someone who does a really good example of this. But you helped me out with one of our former guests.
I did?
Jeannie Walters. Her website is experienceinvestigators.com. And I think she is super clear about both who she helps, what their problems are, and what people get out of it.
I saw her new website. It's fantastic, but I don't remember what's on it.
Elevate your customer experience to create fewer ruined days for your customers. Training, speaking, and workshops to help you create an amazing experience that keeps your customers coming back again and again.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
What she does.
Yeah.
If you're in her industry, you know exactly that's what you need.
Exactly. She's speaking to her people.
You don't want ruined days for your customers.
Right.
Yeah.
It's very specific.
And she's not going on and on about how amazing she is and what their company is.
Doesn't say anything about that.
No. Yeah, that's good.
It's pretty good.
It's good.
So if you know some examples of people who are doing a good job being very specific on their website, we'd really love to see them. 708-872-7878. Send us a text message.
And if you want to leave a review that we can read in a ridiculous accent, we would love for you to go to breakingdownyourbusiness.com/iTunes. Please, pretty please. We'd love that. And we love you. And we crushed it.